Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. stocks and futures market preview and domestic economic data roadmap for the week beginning Monday, the 15th of October 2018, ending Friday the 19th. This is already options expiration in October. Can you believe that? Not a triple expiration, but October can be a big month. And when you get a dip like this, as you're seeing here in the markets, a lot of times the biggest part of that dip comes when around options expiration, which will be this Friday or the Monday afterwards. The biggest crashes in the markets have occurred in in October, and usually in that third Friday. So to be aware, if this is a warning shot, volume's up as we tank. Nothing looks good here. We're almost back to, we've come very close to where we started the year. We started the year around 2680 and change on the ES or on the S&P, well, the ES futures anyways, and we almost got back there this week. So we're racing most of the year again. But again, let's see what happens. But it's going to be, this is just looks bad. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting around buying stocks, and we've been warning people about that. And again, remember the trend gave us that sell signal about 3 weeks ago, and there it is. We'll talk about that in a minute. So let's go through the daily charts of the major indices, and then we'll talk about the intra-week action, and then we'll go into what we're going to see this week. Crude oil up 54 cents on Friday, but it was down for the week, even though we had the big hurricane in Florida. It should be done with hurricane season, hopefully, and those were some big ones this year. Gold popped on Thursday, but retreated $6 on Friday to 1221.60. The S&P Cash Index gains back 38.76. That's actually an inside candle to the prior day after the collapse that occurred. We're down 200 points or so for the week. Man, more than that, really. 200 points is the low. The NASDAQ 100 up 193.18. But again, that's a blip, and it was also, this thing's still, 700, 800 points off the high. SOX up 24.22, still hanging very near the lows of the year on the SOX. The biotech's up 70.34. Russell 2000 gained 1 point, and this is after making new 6-month lows. Consistently just could not rally in this move. The VIX ends up retreating. It was near the highs of the day late, but it ends up retreating. It's down 367 to 2131. The trend closes at 0.74. Guys, this is the bad news. That puts that 10-day moving average back at 0.85. Remember, that was the sell signal to begin with. You can see it back 3 weeks ago or so. And anytime the trend gets 10-day moving average gets to 0.85 or less, that is the sell signal on the market. Now, if I count back 10 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so the next day that's going to drop off is like a 0.6. So unless we get a really low trend reading on Monday, we'll probably get that moving average back up. But again, this has just repeatedly been giving us a signal that wasn't positive. NASDAQ volume, 2.6 billion. Now, here's the thing to really focus on. The two biggest down days of this week were Wednesday and Thursday. We made an absolute killing on Wednesday in the markets. But two down days, Wednesday and Thursday, were the biggest volume days, 3.1 and over 3.1. On Monday, volume was light. Remember, you had that bank holiday, though. Tuesday and Friday, which were kind of like calm or whatever type of days, only around 2.6 billion. So the volume is in the down moves. It's not in the up moves, and that's not a positive for the market. Advanced decline ratio was all over the board during the day, but it ended up closing plus 667, one of the first positive advanced declines we've seen in a while. On the New York, plus 414, again, the strongest we've seen in 3 weeks or so since that trend sell signal, and that might just be your one bounce day on a Friday. Fridays are not usually the counter trend days, but this one kind of was. Google up 29.8, but still obviously down from the highs. Apple up 765, but also had recently swept 2-month lows. Netflix was flirting with 6-month lows, but it recovered up 18.46 on the session on Friday. Amazon also swept 3-month lows, up 69.25. That's just a blip for Amazon, obviously. Tesla up 6.55. We made some good money on the short side of Amazon today, by the way. Tesla up 6.55. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, down 40 cents. Goldman Sachs up 90 cents. But that's still, look at that. It's made new lows this week. It broke down into that cup. It was a good trigger for us. And then it's still down under that. So there's nothing positive about that chart. And Facebook hanging near those lows. All right, so there is your action in terms of the majors during the week. Let's take a look at let's go to the 10-minute chart, actually, of the ES front month futures contract so we can see the whole week. Again, Monday was a bank holiday. The stock market was open, but it was dead flat, closed even for the day. Tuesday was also just dead flat, like no sign of problems. And then suddenly Wednesday, we gapped down, went lower, and then really fell apart late in the day. Big down day for us. Thursday, gapped down, tried to recover, and then ended up closing down lower. Friday, gapped up, filled the gap, and then closed up for the day. But again, still a big loss for the week. And over 100 points on the S&P is a big deal. The NASDAQ 100, fairly similar story. Monday, Tuesday flat. Wednesday, the gap down in the push. That's why it was our best day. Thursday, kind of a double bottom and closed negative. And then Friday, gapped up. Didn't quite fill the gap, but ended up closing near the highs of the day. All right. So overall, some negativity, obviously, here in the market, and it is what it is. What do we do? What do we expect for the week ahead in terms of economic data? And then we can move forward. But again, like I said, it's options expiration. So Wednesday could be that options unraveling move. Next weekend will be the most unprotected moment of the month. And if we're heading down and losing it over next weekend, it's not going to be pretty. That's when the biggest collapses occur. Monday, retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing Index, an hour before the bell. Business inventories, 30 minutes in. Federal budget balance at some point, 1 in the afternoons. Tuesday, capacity utilization and industrial production, 15 minutes before the bell. JOLTS job openings and NAHB housing market index, 30 minutes in. Tick long-term purchases at 4 p.m. at the close. Got a Fed member speaking. On Wednesday, we've got housing starts and building permits an hour before the bell, and the weekly crude oil numbers an hour into the market. We've got another Fed member speaking. We've got the release of the Fed minutes from the last meeting at 2 p.m. Thursday, an hour before the bell, Philly Fed, the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims numbers. CB leading index 30 minutes in, natty gas an hour in. Another Fed member speaks. On Friday, other than options expiration, the only thing we have is the existing home sales an hour into the market. All right, 30 minutes into the market. Sorry. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great